let's talk about Ilus International. This stock has dropped to a very good entry price right now, but I do not expect this to stay this low for long. In fact, I am expecting to see big gains beginning here as soon as Monday or Tuesday. As you know, I like to find stocks that are either undervalued or have catalysts that could push the stock price way up, and Ilus certainly have plenty of these. First off, I want to say congratulations to anyone who listened about Petratech back in October. I brought you Petratech at 11 cents, which hit an all-time high of 44 cents this week. And I first brought you Ilus back in June at only 5 cents. So if you have been following the channel since then, congratulations to the Ilus family too. Don't miss out on stocks like these. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and you will be alerted whenever I make a new video. And show your support for my work, check out my new Patreon page where you can support my work and get access to when I find these new opportunities for only a fraction of the cost of something like Netflix. For example, I posted about this stock, Boss Energy, back in June at only 90 cents. This reached as high as 290, but is still about 100% up and looking ready to run again. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and my videos should be viewed for entertainment purposes. I highly recommend investing only money that you can afford to, and always do your own due diligence when investing. If you are new to Ilus International stock, check out my other videos where I explain all about the company. Basically, Ilus is a public multinational M&A investment company focused on adding shareholder value by innovation and growth. The company focused in technology, engineering and manufacturing space in the industrial sector, mainly from emergency service products, emergency response vehicles, vehicle conversions, EVs, wearable tech and smart tech. They look to acquire companies who have strong management and potential to grow rapidly that will benefit hugely from being part of the Ilus group of companies. This letter to shareholders was published earlier this week, so I highlighted the most important details. We are in the process of transitioning from a small OTC company to something much greater, and throughout our journey, our focus has always been on growing the company whilst creating value for shareholders. Absolutely everything that has been spoken about is in the process of completion and will be delivered on, some of which will be outlined in this letter. There are 4 big pieces of news in the next week or two, and Ilus are on track to achieve this with more in the pipeline as we head to our first shareholders meeting. Then the letter goes on to thank the Discord community here and outlines that management are busy growing the company rather than directly responding to individual questions, and that they are focused on creating shareholder value by growing Ilus as a company and have no control of the share price. I will put a link in the description for anyone who wants to read the full letter. Moving on to acquisition news, Ilus are in the process of completing the next 2 in Texas and Georgia. The company's attorneys are finalizing these deals, and these follow on from Bullhead Products, which was acquired last month. Ilus expect the acquisition of Precision Powered Products in Houston to complete any day now, followed thereafter by the completion of the Georgian acquisition. Both deals are much larger than that of Bullhead Products, both in terms of cost and subsequent revenue for Ilus. With the expectation that the next 2 acquisitions will be wrapped up in the next week or so, the strategy is to manufacture vehicles at Bullhead Products and equipment at Precision Powered Products, and then distribute these products and other existing products through our Georgia located distributor and the other distributors which management are in the acquisition discussions with. So we can clearly see here that Ilus are not acquiring companies for the sake of it or to simply add revenue to the financial statements to make them look better. I said this months ago when Ilus was only 5 cents. Every acquisition the company makes is of strategic importance. Like a jigsaw puzzle, all these companies fit together into the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is to become a truly global recognized multinational company. The European deal that I spoke about in previous videos is huge in this regard. This has been delayed due to snowstorms and COVID, but it is important to realize that the deal is approved. It is not a case of the deal won't go ahead, it is purely a case that Ilus cannot announce it to the public yet. It is happening, and management will announce the details to the public as soon as legally permitted to do so. The larger second phase of the deal is also approved, and everything is lining up nicely for the announcement of that in due course. Larger deals such as the $100 million revenue acquisition and others are still going through the due diligence process. There will be more information on these further down the road in line with the strategy for the uplisting to Nasdaq. Management also expects the first UK acquisition, which is already agreed to be completed in Q1. Other acquisition discussions are taking place across the US, Canada and Asia. At this point, if you are still watching, can I ask you to smash that like button if you find any value in this video. Help keep me alive on YouTube and help me grow this channel. As we can see already, it is going to get very busy over the coming weeks and months with a lot of catalysts. And I aim to keep my viewers updated, so if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. As we've seen over the past few weeks, where there has been no press releases or news from the company, the share price has suffered and dropped a lot. The Ilus share price is highly impacted by news, so I expect that over the coming months we are going to see huge price increases from the current 25-cent share price. And I will look at this in more detail in just a moment, and give you my thoughts on what we should expect. The next section of this letter is products update. I covered most of this in my previous video, so I won't go over it again, but Ilus have been working on the final stages of completing the very exciting acquisition of a virtual reality fire safety software company, which will give Ilus their own VR fire training software, making Ilus the first fire safety training company to operate in the metaverse. Now, interest in the metaverse has cooled off a bit again recently, after having become the latest buzzword when Facebook rebranded as Meta. But make no mistake about it, the metaverse is going to be huge in the coming years. So this one is going to be massive for Ilus and should have a big long-term impact. As we can see, Ilus was getting involved in this deal back in April, back when no one was talking about the metaverse. Despite COVID, Ilus are moving ahead with the shareholder meeting in person in Las Vegas and online. And finally, something that was talked about months ago is the planned share restructure, which hasn't been as straightforward as management had hoped, but it says that this is still the plan. However, it is important for Ilus to get the share structure right. If they don't get it structured correctly now, it could create further issues down the line, especially with the bigger picture in mind. Ilus are still aiming to get the share structure done as close as possible. At the shareholder meeting, there will be a specific discussion around the share structure, and further details regarding the intended spin-off plans will be discussed at the meeting, although there are still quite a few announcements between now and then. So what do you think of this update letter to shareholders, and what do you expect to happen in the coming weeks? Take a moment and comment your near-term price targets below. Looking at TradingView, we can see that Ilus has now dropped to its lowest price since mid-September. This has provided a chance to get in at a very good price, and I did not expect such an opportunity would arise again. But as I said a moment ago, the Ilus share price is highly impacted by press releases and acquisition news. This is something that has been very quiet over the past few weeks. When we look here at the chart over the past few months, we can see this wedge formation. But we can also see where the price action has been very predictable, finding a level of resistance that then becomes support, indicated here by the blue line and arrows. I do feel that Ilus hit bottom this week, and I expect about a 30% gain within the coming days alone, bringing the price up to the low to mid 30 cent by next week. And this is just the beginning. As the news starts rolling out surrounding catalysts, we should expect much bigger gains. Let's not forget the amount of catalysts that Ilus have upcoming. This is a great summary from Twitter showing the revenue that all of the acquisitions will bring to the company in 2022, showing both the current companies and upcoming. And remember that this is a list of what is already in progress. Ilus could make far more acquisitions than what is listed here. And in case you missed it, Ilus coin is now listed on CoinMarketCap within the last 24 hours. But not only that, Ilus have confirmed that they have received confirmation from the next acquisition that the signed completion documents can be expected soon. This and more is to be announced next week. So I think that Monday and Tuesday could signal the beginning of a reversal for Ilus, and we will see the share price go back up to a price that I said a moment ago at a minimum within the next few days. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you've watched all the way through, please hit the like button, it really helps the channel out. At the current price, I think this provides a great opportunity to get into Ilus stock, and I do not expect to see these prices to be still available as we progress through next week. As I said, I expect about 30% increase within a few days. If I am right about this, drop a comment and let me know, and make sure to pop over and check out my Patreon page where I am bringing you the latest stock ideas that I believe will make big gains this year, and where I hope to bring you the next Ilus very soon. Remember, Ilus was only 8 cents when I first talked about it, and only 5 cents when I doubled down on my level of conviction in this stock. Tell me what you think about the future of Ilus. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor, and my videos should be viewed for entertainment purposes. I highly recommend investing only money that you can afford to, and always do your own due diligence when investing. If you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one.